Hello, hello, hello. I'm Andrea Stevens.
And I'm Jeanette Mejias, and we are Web's Women.
Where exposure brings strength. Hello.
Hello, Andrea. It's good to see you on the screen,
On the
behind the
multiple
mic.
screens.
Yes, technology. Gotta love technology.
Gotta love it.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing okay. It's been a few weeks since we've seen each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, the
We had
last time we saw
Roseanne.
each other, we had Roseanne, and now, we're back. Um, I'm excited to see you, excited to, get our conversation going. This is
Yeah,
the
rock and
last,
roll
yeah, this is the last week of everything.
of
This-
everything.
Of everything. It's the last week of the month of August. And,
Mm-hmm.
everything is, coming to a close.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
mean, summer's technically not over till, you know, the 22nd of September, but for the most part, for people who or educators and kids going back to school. This is the last week.
This is the last
Boy,
hurrah.
that's it. I already started telling my son, you better start getting on a regimented schedule because these little late nights you've been having for the past, 3
Yep.
months, he's already dreading it, but it is what it is. So,
Yep. That's what I said to
um,
my son. You
yeah,
better pull it together, start getting to bed early.
and get into those routines.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I wanted to talk about the importance of reciprocity. Um,
Let's give us the definition of reciprocity for all the folks out there.
and
Oh,
and some
yeah.
fans say so. Reciprocity, it's really about reciprocating back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I am, listen, I never do anything to get something out of
Mm-hmm.
it,
Yeah.
but if I'm gonna be polite or if I'm going out of my way, is we have to be like in the same mutual space. I expect you to be respectful back. I expect you to give, the
Mm-hmm.
same in return. I feel like, you know, for me, when you're always in a giving state all the time, and it comes from a good place,
Mm-hmm.
um, but there's no mutual exchange, that not cool. In my opinion, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
there has to be a balance.
Yeah.
And I think for some people, like, I mean, if it's acquaintances, you don't expect certain things, but I feel like when you have, you know, fostered built-in relationships, friendships, working relationships, whatever that looks like. So like if
Mm-hmm.
I'm constantly, you know, um, you and I work together and I got your back and I'm like, listen, I'll cover this, I'll do this and that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in a bind and you're just not my wing girl. What's going on?
Right.
Like I
Mm-hmm. I
just
helped you,
to
you
me
helped
it's
me. Yeah. Yeah.
right. And I just feel like some people just don't make that connection. Some people are just in this space of like, oh yeah, like
Well, yeah, and I
I'm
think
good
that
with that. I'm
goes,
good with getting,
yeah.
and
I
something
think
like
that's
that.
kind of what the world's coming to is that everybody's a taker. I mean, that's what you see.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happening in the world. So it's a, and
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think too that people that do not reciprocate, I think that they know that they do. They just don't give a shit, to be honest. I don't
Yeah.
think anybody really, I think that's what the world's coming to is nobody really gives a shit about
Yeah.
anything. Um, they just
Um,
don't. They don't care about anything. I mean, it
Right. And
is what it is, but
it's a social norm you give to one person, the other person gives something back in return. Like, it's just a thing, right? But people just miss that,
Yeah.
and to your
Yeah.
point, yeah.
But not things. I mean, not even just not things. I mean, even just respect.
Well, right, right. It
Like
doesn't have to
just
be something
respect. It doesn't have to be
material.
physical or
Right,
materialistic. It's
right,
just respect. And I think that people have a hard time with that too,
right.
you
I
know, but
People are just in their self-absorbedness
mhm,
world. Um,
yeah. And everything is how can you help me? What can you give me? How can
what
you
can you
help
do for
me?
me? What's in
What
it
can you
for
do for me?
me?
Right. What's in it for me? Right. Right. And if you're a giver, then you have a hard life in this state,
Yeah, I
in this
know.
state of the world right now, you know?
Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
to
But
me,
you got
like,
to pick and choose, I think, too, then who you associate with.
right.
Because I mean, that's the hard part, I think,
And it's
is
draining.
yeah.
It can drain you easily when you
Hmm.
feeling sucked, like, okay, like,
Yeah.
where's the reciprocity here? I mean, come on, like, can't be
Yeah.
always,
Yeah. Can you
I'm the one.
reciprocate a little bit of
I'm
what?
the go-to. I'm
Right.
the go-to.
Right. Right.
Like, what?
Yeah.
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 Um,
I mean,
yeah,
I think too, with I think people I maybe I don't even know how to even say it, but I think if you're not self-aware,
well, that's a good point.
that is, yeah, like if you're not self-aware, then you probably think on one end, you know what I mean? If you're the one, if you're a giver, right? You're loyal, you're a giver, you respect, you have all these qualities in you, right? I think sometimes don't even realize what's coming up, what's on the receiving end.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean? You don't realize because you're so, um, I guess maybe, it makes you feel good, right? You're a giver, it makes you feel good. It's all feel good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To the point where you don't sit back and even realize all of the things that you've been doing. Think you don't sometimes like it just exhausts you. It
Mm-hmm.
sucks everything out of you.
Yeah.
And especially once you realize that I look around, right? And I'm doing all these things for everybody. What I'm not doing what I should be doing for myself, right? And then now you
Mm.
got to be self aware of like, okay, what did I put off that was my
Right.
own thing? What am I putting off because I'm doing for other people?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I think sometimes you got to look at yourself, and most people are not self-aware. They say they are, and they're working on themselves, but let's really be serious. You ain't working on shit. You ain't doing shit. You're doing the same damn thing over and over and over, and you're fucking around, fucking the same people over left and right just to get what you want, or you know what I mean? Or you're a taker and you're taking, or well, I'm not going to do this for you because I got to go, right? I'm leaving at
Mm-hmm.
5. I can't help you. Like,
Right.
I don't care if
Right.
you got to sit here till 6 o'clock at night finishing. I'm not helping you.
Right.
Like that's what you get. At some point, you got to sit back and say, okay, well, now this isn't going to roll like this anymore. Right.
Right.
You got eventually, you should be self aware.
Yeah.
And I think it takes a lot for people to step back and look at the picture and look at what you've said, you've done, how you've acted, who you respect, who you don't. It takes a lot for you to and to own your shit, like to even own
Mm-hmm.
it. Most people that I think that do not reciprocate are not self-aware. I don't care what they think. They
Right.
think they are, but they're not. Because if you're self-aware, then you correct certain things with certain people if you give a shit about them.
Mm-hmm.
Or you just own up to the fact that you don't give a fuck about nobody and you're a taker and you only that's all you care about. You care about
Mm-hmm.
what's in it for you and fuck everyone else in the world.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
that's fine if you're that way. Just own it. You know what I
Right.
mean? And then don't get mad though when everybody else thinks you're an asshole. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like you can't really get
Or
mad at that. I mean,
people just simply start disassociating,
I guess, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, at the end of the day,
yeah.
I mean, I think that's been one of my big words for me this year. Every year I have a word, or every year looks different for me. And for me, I'm all about peace. This year, if nothing is bringing
Mhm.
peace in my life, I don't want it. Bye. You
Mhm.
come with stuff, bye. It sounds mean,
Mhm.
but it really isn't because for me, I have to protect and guard myself. If I I work very hard to be in a peaceful state,
Mhm.
and I've allowed at times for my peace to be disrupted.
Mhm.
And as a result of that disruption, um, it never fared out well for myself, and I would get angry at myself
Right.
because
Yeah.
it
That's
takes
the
a
word.
lot of work
Yeah.
for you to go, like to have yourself safe
Yeah.
from all the things that you know is not healthy for you.
Mhm.
And whether it's you're saving a very toxic friend all the time, that jumps on you. There's
Yeah.
only so much that you can try to intervene. It just it it's too much
Yeah.
because the person's not thinking about you, never asking about you, never
It doesn't give
saying,
a
"Hey,
shit.
I'm
Like I said, it
sorry.
doesn't give a shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just dumped, 50 pounds of bullshit on you, but let me put that aside. How are you?" You know? And to
Mhm.
your point, people lack that because they're
Yeah.
all about themselves.
Mhm.
They're not reciprocating what comes to them. And
Mhm.
when you start to notice that now you're getting either irritated after you exchange with this person,
Mhm.
it's very simple for me. Disassociate.
Yeah.
Like
You
that to
said
me.
something though that
Yeah.
triggered me. You said something that triggered me. Um, when you get mad at yourself,
Yeah.
that is that's your saving grace, I think, as far as realizing and being self-aware.
Yeah. Well,
When
that's it.
you're
Right.
mad at, yeah, when you're mad at yourself, you look in the mirror and you're like, I'm an asshole. What the fuck am I doing?
Like, why did I allow
Right?
this?
Why
How
did
did I
I
get
allow this? Why am I
back to
doing
this
this?
again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like why is this happening again? Right? And
Right.
you go through that. Eventually, I think too that sometimes it takes a while to
Mm-hmm.
figure out, I guess how mad you are at yourself. I guess, because I mean, sometimes, you're like, whatever, like it's fine, whatever,
Sometimes you give
and
people the
then,
benefit of the doubt. You're
yes,
thinking like, oh, you know what? Like they, I'm just gonna let that roll, not a big deal. I'm in a different place in my life or
right, right,
whatever.
right,
But
right.
then the person still continues to do the same thing, whatever that thing is, that
Or
now
say, or do,
brings
yeah,
you,
yeah,
right, or say, right, or
mm-hmm,
whatever the
yeah,
action is
right, right,
that brings you in that space, like, oh my God.
yeah,
Like, no, like,
yeah,
why did I even go here? Like, why am I here?
yeah,
And then it's like, ah. But for me, like I said, I've been there. I speak from a place of obviously a lived experience because
mm,
for us, I feel what makes us we're relatable, right? We talk about
mm-hmm,
things that are
right,
relatable because
mm-hmm.
people who are listening are going through the same
The same
stuff.
thing. Oh yeah, yeah.
Whether it's with a family member,
Doesn't matter, or work or
whoever,
whatever.
work
Yeah.
friend,
Hmm.
longtime friend,
Right.
new friend,
Yeah.
neighbor. I mean, like, I have a neighbor, no joke. She lives across the street from me, right? She'll say two shits to me, right? Ever. She's not very nice. Like, she's not approachable. Not a big deal, I'm like, whatever. If somebody doesn't say hi to me, it's not the end of the world for me.
Yeah.
And then, like, she lost her cat, and it was just a so big thing. And all of a sudden, she's like, "Oh, can she just wanted to know if her cat was like." Sometimes it would come to my porch. It would get confused, like
Hmm.
it would get confused from her property to my property. I know I haven't seen her. If you want to go walk in my backyard, see if she's hiding somewhere or whatever. Anyhow, fast forward after she got her cat, yo, it was like I didn't exist. No hellos, no like, hey, hey, like I'm like, okay, wait, but it gets better. Girlfriend texted me the other day talking about hi. I'm like, what's up? And she's like, oh, I have a very important package on my porch. I was wondering, can you take it? It's very valuable. And can you take it? I won't be back till Tuesday.
It's her
And then-
cat?
no, not her cat.
Oh,
No, this is
I was
something
like,
else
what
now.
the fuck is
No,
going
no, I'm just giving you the example. She was my buddy finding her cat. Once her feline appeared, I disappeared. Right?
Now she's got a box for you?
So now she's got a delivery. And in my mind, I'm like, this bitch hasn't talked to me. I don't know, like how long? Anyhow, so part of
Uh,
me wanted to lie and say, nope, I'm not home. I'm away. But the problem I have with that is that I feel like, okay, whatever, I'll just do it. But when I said, yeah, I see it, I'll grab it. And then I got mad that I did it.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, well, why did I do that? Never,
Yeah.
never just said, how are you? It was like, you just get a package. I'll get, oh, thank you so much. She did say thank you. But
At
in
least
my
she said thank you,
mind,
I guess.
yeah, but in my mind, I'm like,
She needed something, so she needed you.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, my own lesson learned here.
Yeah.
Like, just don't respond.
Yeah.
When she said hi, I should have just not responded. I
Yeah.
mean, don't get me wrong, if it's an emergency or something like that, because she has a parent that lives with her,
Mm-hmm.
different. But at the end of the day, I was just irritated at my own self because I'm like,
Yeah.
why am I cutting her a favor? First of
Yeah.
all, I don't even know how she's comfortable with me like that because, like, I wouldn't ask her to take anything of mine.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't have that kind of relationship with
Yeah.
her. I'd probably ask a friend of mine who lives like a couple of blocks from here to do it for me, but
Mm-hmm.
I just think like it's just
I'd make my mother
funny.
come. I'd make my mother come all the way
But
here.
it's funny how people just got the balls to ask shit. It's like, oh, okay. Like, okay. So
Yeah.
anyhow, I'm off my soapbox on that. But
Well, I mean, but you're aware of like, here's the thing is she asks you for that final thing, and you're like, this whole time you haven't really been right. And now you want something? Like,
I mean, she's seen me like
I don't
having
know.
coffee on my porch. She doesn't even wave.
Yeah.
Like, you see me. Just it's a hello. Hey, good morning.
Well, your houses are all closed too.
And the thing is like, listen,
But
I'm not asking you to have a conversation with me. It's just the whole point. It's like, hello. Like in my mind, if a neighbor went out of their way to help me find my cat, I will look at that neighbor differently because they took the time.
right. It was, yeah. And it
Like,
was,
to help me
yeah,
check
because
in
your
on
heart,
me.
your heart was hurting and I came to help.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
and I checked on
Yeah.
her. Any news?
Yeah.
Anything? Did you find anything? I'm like, I'm that kind of person because
Yeah.
I see people. And I
Yeah.
think what happens is people don't have capacity to see other people.
That is the best line I see people right there. Right there. Because when you're an empath, you see people, but no, you see people.
Yeah.
I see people. That's like my new saying now. I see people.
Yes.
I see people. I might not like you, but I see you.
And you see live people.
I
You
see
don't see
live,
dead
live.
people
Yeah, I see
like
live. I
like
see
the
live
movie.
people. Yeah. I think I actually said that in a post when I was bitching a few weeks ago. I said, I see you or we see you. I don't know, something like that. I said, but
So, hey,
yeah,
listen, you just gotta, the whole point of this topic is self-awareness
Yeah.
Guard yourself.
Pay attention. If you're out there
Yeah.
listening and you think, is that me? Am I the one? Like, do I reciprocate? Do I give back? Or am I just a taker? Look in the fucking mirror. If you're listening to this, look in the mirror and be self-aware and know who
Look
you
in the
are.
mirror.
Right. Look in the fucking mirror
Mirror, mirror on the
on the
wall.
wall. I'm gonna start rapping in a minute.
Oh Lord, yeah, you got away from the jingles. We gotta get back to that.
No, I don't know what happened.
Oh God. Well,
But yeah,
this actually I think was a great topic because it's a conversation that's had. I feel it's a conversation had multiple times. Like I've had
with a
this
lot, yeah. Everybody's
with
going through
different
it.
people.
So
Everybody's
everybody
going
right
through it.
now is going through it on one end of the spectrum or the other, no matter which
Yep.
end you're on.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like you're going through it because this world is selfish. These
Yes.
people in this world, and these people, meaning everywhere, it's getting worse. It's getting worse as the years
And
go on.
all I have to say is,
And so everybody can relate to this conversation.
yes, all I have to say is that if um no matter what you go through,
Mhm.
no matter how ugly things get, no matter how people treat you, if they're unkind, whatever it happens, always remember it's never about you. They got their own things happening. But
Mhm. But you have to
never,
respect yourself.
right,
Respect
never
yourself.
allow the inactions of
Mhm.
others to change your spirit and your heart. And don't get hard on the world because there are still good people in it.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. There's still good people in it. And always just stay with the people that always choose you. You have
Yeah.
your circle.
Yeah.
You have
Yes.
your people that
Yes.
know that they're there for you no matter what. What can I
Hmm.
do? How can I help you? What do you need?
Hmm. Choose the
You
people
know,
that choose you.
that's it.
I see you. Choose the people that choose you. These are all these little
That's
sayings out
it.
there. Yeah.
But it's true though.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get ourselves like me, I'm getting all freaking, my panties in a bunch over a damn box. Like, who cares?
Mm.
Okay, like you cut her a favor, move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
That would,
Yeah.
if it's gonna get you that irritated, then just don't do it. Period. But
Yeah.
that's my awareness, and that's
Or
my
and don't make the same
I'm making
mistakes multiple times. Yeah.
correct,
Yeah.
correct,
But
right?
just self-aware.
Self-awareness.
Self-aware.
Yeah. Well, thank you for um having this discussion
Yeah.
and
Thank
opening
you.
up this platform because I think it's just so relevant,
Hmm.
to all.
It is.
And
Yep.
we just got to keep pushing. That's it.
Keep pushing.
Well, everyone, you're listening to Web's Women.
Where exposure brings strength.